It's time now for Midnight Baseball 37, Spencer Dodgers, a man named Stan. Owner Awareness Week continues. The Dodgers, let's talk about them now. It's who I know the most about, so I gotta start there. Peter Gruber, Mark Walter are the guys behind the investment group. Magic Johnson's the PR, but the man with the plan is Stan Kasten. This guy's been involved in sports for a long time. We're going to talk about him real soon, but he's brought hope to the Dodgers since 1988. And how can an ownership group dictate how you feel as a fan, and how, as you as a fan, can you also influence your ownership groups, right? Let's discuss that tonight in a little bit. Trivia from last night. Who was the player that took out Buster Posey at home and changed the home plate collision rule forever? 1, 2, 3. Mr. Scott Cousins of the Florida Marlins at the time, I believe. You can't really predict how you're going to be remembered, but as a baseball player, this is you, my friend. I heard you're scouting in Arizona. Best of luck to you. But Scott, you took out Buster Posey, and that's what you're going to be remembered as. That's a trivia. News and notes, players going around. Travis Wood, 2 years, $12 million to the Royals. Royals still doing some awesome additions to the rotation. I don't know why the Cubs let Travis Wood go. Being a Dodger fan, I remember when we hit the line drive, excuse me real fast, line drive off Kyle Hendrick real fast, and then Wood came in to shut down the inning. I think it was game 2 of the NLCS, and then he came up the next inning and hit a home run. I mean, Travis Wood's awesome. Adam Land, a power left-handed bat going to the Washington. Who else we got signing? A sneaky pick I thought about when I thought about Travis Wood was Mark Reynolds. I didn't talk about much Mark Reynolds, minor league deal with the Rockies. I think it's going to be awesome. That's more undervalued for power bats. Another player going to spring training to look at. I'm throwing off a lot of players tonight, but it's been fun. Ryan Healy, a guy I've been doing a little more research about with that Oakland Athletics. So there's some news and notes for you on players. Back to Stan the Man. No, not Stan Musial. I'm talking about Stan Kasten. And this guy was given a chance. At the age of 27 in 1979, he became the president of the Atlanta Hawks. Peter Fonda, the owner of the Hawks. We all know him from TBS, right? I know what you guys are thinking. Fonda, right? Jane Fonda. Little workout. Get it going here. Aerobics. Work it. Work it. Oh, I'm having a little flashback there of eating Fruity Pebbles, watching my mom in 1987. But when Peter Fonda gave the leadership to Stan Kasten in 79 with the Atlanta Hawks, look what happened. Dominique Wilkins took off. Atlanta Hawks soared and sold tickets to no other in the NBA. In 86, he took over the Braves as president. What did the Braves do? A couple bad years. We know what they did with Bobby Cox and all the famous pitching. What was it, 17 years in a row they won the NL East? And then if you can believe it, in 1989, Atlanta gets an expansion from the NHL and the Thrashers. Stan Kasten from 1999 to 2003 was the president of 3 different major sports franchises. Let me go back for a second. I didn't tell you at the age of 27, he's also the youngest ever president of a major sports franchise as well. So he was breaking barriers back in the day, taking this through all the way. In 2006, he became the president of operations for the Nationals when they got integrated into the league. It didn't work out too good with ownership. He took a few years to get together. Boom, he buys the Dodgers. And look what we do. We just do win, 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 win. Stan Kasten is the man, everybody. He's part scouting. He hired Andrew Friedman. I love how he's breaking more barriers, right? He was given an opportunity by Peter Fonda. What did he do to Farhan Zahidi? He is the first, who's the current general manager of the Dodgers, right? We all know his story a little bit, but if you don't, here it is. He's Pakistani in descent, born in Canada and Quebec, raised in the Philippines, went to college at Berkeley. How did he get involved in baseball? He's a computer science guy. Found an ad in the paper. Billy Beane put an ad in the paper for local in Oakland. You might know the story, maybe you don't. Billy Beane hires him out of 1,000 guys. He works for Billy Beane for about 8 years. He comes from the Dodgers. He gets hired. So we bring in Stan Kasten, brings in Andrew Friedman. He brings in Zahidi. So we have this whole mix and match of just this dynamic thing going in Los Angeles. And that's what excites a Dodger fan. And that's what I want to think to you as another baseball fan. Find out who your ownership group is, right? Find out who the owners are, the principal owners. Find out who's making the decisions. Find out who the president is. Find out who the general manager is. Find their core values of who they are as baseball men. Are they win now, and what are they doing, right? And that's kind of what you're doing with the awareness and who are your people. Getting into my shout out today, it's called Blue Pin Was it Blue Pen Dodgers? I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. Let's go with it anyway. Blue Pen Dodgers. I texted you today. I want to use your artwork in my show. You're fantastic. I saw you on Twitter. Keep it going with the social media. I love your artwork. I'm going to put you and tag you in my description below. There we go with that. Trivia, let's wrap it around with the 1990 Braves. We all know what a great job they did. Andrew Friedman is the general manager of the Dodgers, but who was the general manager of the Braves during their great run for 15 years? Bobby Cox was the manager. Leo Mazzoni was the pitching coach, rocking back and forth in his little rocking chair. Okay, but who did Stan Kasten put in charge of the Braves for all those years? You might know his name. He was the general manager. That's the trivia question. I got my gratitude to the baseball gods, to the midnight players, to Raklife.org, and everybody else. What am I doing today? A little moonwalk. Ooh, Michael for the Grammys, baby. Ooh, ooh.